Just a second. Hello, hi, Shanay.
Hi, nice to meet
Hi.
you.
This is Devika from Next Genius.
Yep.
I'll just take a moment and then we can begin.
Sure, yeah, sounds good.
I'll also make you co-host for the session so that if anything goes wrong, we can manage. All right, so I think people are joining in. So
Yeah.
can we wait for 2-3 minutes before we begin with the session?
Yep.
Okay, so meanwhile, I'll also go live on our Facebook page because there are overflowing registrations for the session, so I don't want anybody to miss out on it.
Right.
So the ones who are not able to join in here can view us on Facebook. So I'll just take another minute to do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are also live on our Facebook page now.
Awesome.
Okay.
Let's just wait 1 more minute, I guess.
Yes, sure.
Okay, what's up, everyone? I think it's time to begin.
Yeah, so before you begin, I'll just give a little introduction about Next Genius,
Yep.
and then you can take over the screen and go ahead with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so hi, good evening, everyone. This is Devika from the Next Genius Scholarship Program, and welcome you to day 3 of File Building webinar series. And I'm glad that we are almost towards the end of it, but the best is yet to come. So today we are here with Shanay Wadhwani from Data Art, and we hope to know a lot more about machine learning, data statistics, and how it is being used more extensively now than in the previous 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
A little about Next Genius that I would like to tell grade 12 students here who have participated for the webinar that we are a registered charitable trust in India, and we help students pursue their undergraduate dream in US by giving them outstanding scholarships. Since we have partnered with the universities in the US, and y'all can have a look and go through them on our website. And we have also begun with our registrations for 2020. So if you are in your grade 12, or you can also be in your gap year, so please apply to us and we are there for you. So yes, you can take over the presentation now.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Devika. And thank you all for being here, for showing up on what appears to be a nice Sunday afternoon, evening for everybody.
Yes.
It seems like we have attendees from all over the world actually showing up here,
Right.
which is really cool. I'm grateful that you guys took time to be here. And with that being said, let's get started into why I'm here and why you're here as well. So Data Art is a new course. It's a really new program. It started only 1 month ago, and we have our first bunch of students taking the course right now. And they're all doing projects and learning machine learning and artificial intelligence. Okay, these are students who have never had any previous programming skills or a little programming skills. Okay, so they've over the course of the last 3 weeks or 1 month, they've developed programming skills to mine data. Okay, and all these students know, as I'm sure you know as well, data is everywhere. Data is abundant. What is not everywhere, and what creates the need for data analysis is people like yourself who want to mine data and mine data effectively. Okay, so whether you want to work in a company really well, or you want to go to college and do effective research, um, you need to have good data analytical skills. Okay, and you know, people say that data was 80% of the world's data was created in the last 10 or 20 years. But what has not been there is people, students, and analysts such as yourselves who are curious about these skills and want to mine data for building visualizations to educate the public, or you know, build insight to educate, you know, professionals in their fields. For example, during the coronavirus pandemic, while doctors treated patients, it was also data analysts who were able to identify hotspots and were able to predict, you know, where would the next wave of the virus hit, or where could the next wave of the virus hit. So it was able to identify susceptible patients and help them be safe. Okay, this is why data analytics is become a growing field, and in fact, it's become one of the biggest fields in the world. So this course focuses on these topics such as data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and it brings it to students and interested young leaders in a very systematic way, so that you don't have to have any prior knowledge or training in data analytics. And through this course, you get to build these skills. You eventually end with a certification in this course if you choose the 6-week program. Okay, so I want to walk you through what each of the 6 weeks are like. So right now we have our first batch running, and they're building some fantastic projects, you know, in biosciences, or predicting air pollution data. They're building all kinds of really cool projects. And so our first week is learning the syntax of the language that we're going to use, or the program. It's called RStudio, and I want to show you a little bit about RStudio and what it looks like. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Here, this is what RStudio looks like. You know, you can see it's like a programming interface, and you can write code over here and upload it to the internet, or build it, you know, for your own personal use on your local computer. So this is what RStudio looks like. And our first week of projects were projects on building basic data visualization. So, you know, bar plots, scatter plots, that kind of stuff. I have some visualizations that my students have built, which I'd be happy to share with you. But for right now, I want to show you another visualization, which I think would capture where it would capture this audience. It's relative to you guys. Okay, so so this is a visualization which represents where you guys are from. So as you can see, you know, it's a scalable map, and it represents, you know, the cities where all the Next Genius attendees are from, and you know, each of you are represented on this map with the help of this blip, and you can see that this map is scalable and zoomable, and the data for this map look like data for any other you know, it looked like data from about anywhere. It just looked like an Excel table. So with the help of learning RStudio and data art, just by 1 week of data art, my students and myself were able to build this map given this data. Okay, so that's the first week. And then the second week, we work with building bar plots and pie charts, which are also interactive like this, which educate insights. And by the third week, we get frequently to try to understand what kind of advertising campaigns would work for people. So that's how advertising campaigns are built. They try to identify what their target audience interacts with based on the language, and they target their target audience with a similar language. And then on the fourth week, we get into building a predictive model and try to identify cancer cells in patients given data. So if we have the physical appearances of a certain a tumor, we can identify and predict whether the tumor would be cancerous or benign, if it's malignant or benign, which is extremely useful for doctors to have an understanding out of, because you want to be able to prescribe your patient the correct treatment. And then on the fifth week, we work on building a business model where we forecast finances for a certain company, and students can take this in a variety of different directions. So I have students comparing the stock prices of companies in the Bombay Stock Exchange over the last 5 years, and comparing that with how the stock price has changed during this unprecedented pandemic. So the data for all this is out there. You need the right kind of skills to access this data and turn it into a visualization. And this is why data art is for you. So on the last week, on week 6, we actually get into building independent projects, which get all the 5 weeks together, and cumulatively each student presents a final project, which is on a subject of their interest, and they're able to build interactive maps. And ultimately, you can also build a website through GitHub where you upload all this code and this data mining work that you've done through the program, and you can actually share it with colleges that you're applying to, or you can share it with employers, and that kind of work. So this course is geared towards young leaders who want to develop cutting edge skills in the modern world. Okay, it's aimed to teach you things that school is incapable of teaching you. It's aimed to give you tools to take your career forward, to take your education forward, and even to take your business forward. So that's data art. Before I end, I want to show you one more example of what we've done so far. And it's really cool. So I want you guys to look at my screen here. So this is the program, the interface that we use, and this is what data looks like before we create any of these cool visualizations. This is what data looks like. So the data I have here, these are tweets put out by Narendra Modi over the last 3 years. And it also has the tweets put out by Rahul Gandhi over the same time period. Okay, so through this data, we were able to compare the language used by Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi while they were working with this pandemic and trying to control the pandemic in India. And through this data, we were able to create a certain visualization, which I want to show you. Here. Here. Okay, so using that data, we were able to create this tree diagram, which predicts whether a certain tweet is put out by Narendra Modi or by Rahul Gandhi. So just based on what language or words they are using, you can actually predict who is the person who is writing the post. And this is something that I don't know if any other program teaches you, but we actually look at text data, textual data. So we can look at essays or song lyrics or tweets or anything that is written in English. And we can turn English language into data, and we're able to mine this data. Okay, so that's the final project. That's the final presentation I want to show you guys. And we work with numerical data and factor data and text data. Also bear in mind that none of these students who join my course have any knowledge of what RStudio or R is. Everybody who's joined this course has learned it from the beginning and taken it forward to build their projects. Yeah, that's data art. It's a 6-week long certification course in machine learning and AI. And at the end of it, you develop all these fantastic skills, which you cannot learn anywhere. We also offer a 3-week course, which is a boot camp. It's an accelerated program where we don't build predictive analytics, but we build these representational models like the map I showed you and even the tree diagram I showed you. So, to bring it all together, we have 2 programs, the 6-week long certification course in machine learning and AI, and the 3-week long boot camp in data science. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think that was pretty crisp, short, and very, very meaningful. Especially the map part. It was very interesting. So I think we have few questions in the Q&A box. You can take them, and I request you all to post more questions and get to know more about data. So meanwhile they post more questions, you can answer these.
So I read someone ask a question. If going back to the map that I showed you, let me show you that map again.
Yes, that was very interesting.
Okay, so this map, someone asked a question, is it possible for you to hover over a circle marker, and then if you click on it, it'll tell you information about the city? And the answer is yes, absolutely, you can do that. Let me show you. So when I hover over this, my mouse changes, okay? It changes from the drag to the click. And that's meaningful. That means you can click on it. I haven't added any information about the city on this map, but you can do that very easily by creating a write-up and having it pop up on the map. What I have done on this map is scale this map for color, okay? So the gray blips indicate that there are only about 1 or 2 students from this city, and the purple and blue blips indicate there are a few more students from the city, and then the red blips indicate that there are a lot of students from the city. And you can also have it for size, so you can have bigger circles represent more students, and color also represent more students. You can also have the more information pop up when you click on the blips. And yeah, we will work with all of that in this class. Good question, thank you. I think there was some more. Oh yeah, so someone asked, can you build something in the fields of neurobiology which show the effects of brain or show the effects on the brain or affected active areas of respective illnesses? Yeah, absolutely. So you need good data sources, to build these projects, and you can get great data sources from the Google dataset repository. So this is a website which enables you to search for data sets just like you would use Google. Okay, so instead of Googling for healthcare, you can actually Google for healthcare on this website, and it'll give you a data set on healthcare which you can analyze in R Studio. Okay, great question. You can find data sets on everything, just about everything. Okay, so someone asked a question, can you collect data on painter's artwork and visualize what another of his paintings might look like? Yeah, that's a little harder, and it might be outside the scope of data art. So another aspect of using R is you can actually create a image recognition software. And you can learn all the tools to help you for that, but we won't actually build an image recognition software in R. What an image recognition software is, it's basically, if you take a picture of a chair, your software should be able to identify the chair as a chair. And you can train your software by showing it several pictures of chairs and then showing it a new picture of a chair and asking it, is this a chair or is this something else? We'll work with stuff like that. We won't quite work with image recognition softwares, even though you will have some tools to help you in that field. And someone asked, is there any way to work on a project that goes hand in hand with the community service? Yeah, there absolutely is. So some of my students right now are working on a project on air pollution across the world. And we have a map different concentrations of air pollutants across across India. And with that, we're able to contact the local municipal governments and help them educate their people on whether the concentration of sulfur dioxide is high or nitrogen dioxide is high, or whether PM10 is high. So that insight can only be done through data and data collection and analysis. And using that, you can actually create a community service project. Another one which I worked on personally is I live in Mumbai, so we were trying to track COVID cases in Mumbai, and we worked on a map so that we could see where there were active COVID hotspots in Mumbai on the Mumbai map, and we were able to build that using data. So that's a form of community service where you can build such projects to educate people and inform them about their decisions. Someone asked, how much does this program cost? Like I said, there are two programs being offered over here in Data Art. The first program is a 6-week long boot camp where you get a certificate in machine learning and AI. I don't think there are many programs like this offering you a certification course in the same thing. You also come out of the 6-week long boot camp with 6 different projects, and you can show that to your employers, or you can keep it for yourself, obviously, and you can also show it to colleges that you might be applying to. So the cost of the 6-week certification bootcamp is rupees 30,000 for the entire program. That includes, the interface to use it, all the data sets that you will need, so on and so forth. We also offer a 3-week boot camp, which is not a certification course, but it covers a lot of material in any case. So the 3-week boot camp costs 14,000. I should also mention that the 6-week long boot camp, which is 30,000 rupees, and the 3-week long boot camp, which is 14,000 rupees. For these two classes, we meet 3 times a week. So we meet on Saturday and Sunday, where I explain, how you must code, what code we are working with, and I walk you through the syntax and that kind of stuff. And then on Wednesday, I help you analyze a data set of your choice. So I help you work on visualizations with your data set. So it's 3 times a week for either 3 weeks or 6 weeks. The 6-week program comes with a certificate, and that costs 30,000 rupees. And the 3-week program costs 14,000 rupees. So each class is 1.5 hours. So it starts. So there are 2 batches. One at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. And the other batch is 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. And someone asked if I do a 3-week course and I find it interesting, can I extend it to 6 weeks? Yeah, absolutely. So you can start with a 3-week course, and if you really like the program and you think that you might actually want a certificate in the same, to keep a record of your accomplishments and your projects, then you can easily extend it to 6 weeks. This program is flexible in that way. The two courses are different in the sense that the 6-week program covers a little more in depth after the 3-week program, but it covers everything that is in the 3-week program at least. So there's no different site to register for both these programs. There's the same site, which I will share with all of you. It's a Google Forms sheet, which if you are interested in, you must sign up on. Okay. And my website will also be shared with you, where you can read up more about the course. We also have an Instagram page where you can see some of the visualizations that my students are working on right now. It's called Paint My Data, all one word, Paint My Data. So someone asked, is it one-to-one? So when someone wants to work on a project with me, they can approach me, and I'm happy to work one-on-one with them with the project. But the Saturday and Sunday class is a group lecture where you can ask questions, in person. So I should be able to see everybody, and we can we can go through questions that way. And then if someone wants to meet me one-on-one to walk through a project, we can do that easily through Zoom as well. Yeah, I will share my contact details, my website, and the sign-up sheet with you after this webinar. And yeah, I will help you get relevant data sources, even though, you know, data is abundant everywhere. You probably don't even need my help, but I can help you, you know, look for data sets on the Google data set site that I showed you, and also another one called Kaggle, which has resources for machine learning. So someone asked, what's extra in the 6-week course? Okay, so in the 6-week course, we work with interactive maps, and you know, we work with making things interactive, so you can turn it into an HTML file easily and upload it to the internet. We also work on building a prediction model. So we work on, you know, predicting whether a tumor is cancerous or not. So we build these different models, and given certain data, we build these models, and then given new data, we're able to predict what would the outcome of the new data be, whether it would be a cancerous tumor or would it not be cancerous. So that's a key feature of the 6-week program. You can build these forecasting tools where you can actually predict into the future what would happen. And someone asked, what is the age group of kids in this program? So there's no fixed age group. It's about students who are interested in machine learning and data analytics. With that being said, roughly between the ages of 14 to 20, or little over 20 as well. Yeah, so we work with visualizations and forecastings. So someone asked how many kids in a batch. The short answer is not too many. So there are limited seats, and it's a first come, first serve basis. And obviously, you know, you have to demonstrate interest. And with that being said, I will try to, you know, include as many students as possible, given that you're interested. Yeah, there would be a cap at about, you know, 20 students per batch. And I'm going to run 2 batches, one at 6 to 7:30 and one from 8 to 9:30 on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. So not more than 20 students per batch. The course is not only maps. We work with a lot of other visualizations like bar plots, scatter plots, interactive plots of the same, box plots, line diagrams, forecasting tools. We work with some maps. We work with tree diagrams. We also work with mining words, so building word clouds, and also a regression tool and a logistic regression tool. If a group of students decide together and join, can a discount be arranged? No, I don't think so. I'm going to state that flatly. No, this course is it's really cool, and I know that not a lot of people can offer this course. That's why the fees are as they are. And so classes start for both batches on September 5th. Okay, so they go on from September 5th to October 17th. That's when the 6-week batch ends, and the 3-week batch ends towards the beginning of October. So it starts on September 5th. And how many times a year does this happen? So far, it's happened once before, and it's going to happen once more on September 5th. And I think this is a really cool class, so I do intend to make it happen more frequently. So, you know, for some reason, if you are not able to attend it in September, I will run it again, or if you, yeah, I will run it again. So someone asked, are there tests? No, there are no tests, but your tests are your projects which you make each week. So that is how I assess how you're faring in this class. So after each weekend where I teach you the material, you're supposed to build a project. And we work on the project together, and based on the project you produce, I'm able to give you feedback and ultimately give you a certificate if you complete all the projects. So I'm the instructor. I'm a data scientist. data analytics at college in upstate New York at Hamilton. And I've worked with data in the field of politics, so looking at human sentiment in writing things. And I've also worked with financial tools, predicting earnings before tax for various companies. And I've also worked with a lot of startups to mine prospective marketplaces, which would be opportunities for them. So I worked in digital consulting for a while. And then I realized that I want to shift to education and spread digital literacy through students. Okay. So someone said, if we join, would you be starting on September 5th? Yeah, you would be starting exactly on September 5th. That would be the first class. And I would share, all the appropriate materials with you so that you can start on September 5th. So someone asked, are projects independent or group-wise? So projects are independent unless you decide or two or more people decide that they want to work on a project together. In that case, I encourage you to work together because you can really build a big project. You can build a massive project which impresses yourselves. It also impresses everyone who looks at that project, who sees that project and understands what you're doing over there. So the fees for the 6-week project are again rupees 30,000. And the registration process for this program is through the Google form sheet, which I will share with you. Yep, that's all. Any other questions, guys? Great questions.
Yeah, I feel they've asked some amazing questions here. All
yeah.
right.
Thanks for engaging, all of you. I appreciate it.
All right, so I think you've answered all the questions.
Devika, I would appreciate if you could send everyone the Google form sheet to sign up if they're interested, and so the website. That would be great. I think people have asked a lot of good questions.
Right. So you can share about it with us, and we will email it to all the registered students here and all of them who have asked questions here.
Thank you, Devika. Thank you, guys.
No problem. So yes. So all right. So thank you so much for a wonderful presentation and such incredible information on data science. Even I didn't know so much about it earlier. So, and especially the mapping part. That was very interesting, very interesting. So thank you once again. And I hope all these students, they are taking back a lot with them after this presentation. And we'll definitely share with them the forms for registration for your program.
Enjoy your Sunday, everybody. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. And guys, if you all really want to rewatch this and, if you want to go through it more in detail, we have it recorded on our Facebook, and we also will be posting it on our YouTube channel. So if you want to go bit by bit through the presentation, you can go it that way. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.